In order to follow this tutorial, you will need a resistor of 10 kilo ohms. So I will use the multimeter in the ohm settings, and I'll measure this resistor. It's 9.96, so very close to 10. And I will test also this light dependent resistor, and the value changes a lot with strong light like the one I'm using, or with a shadow like now that I'm putting my hand on top. It jumps to 20 kilo ohm, and if I take my hand out, it jumps back to maybe almost 1 kilo ohm. So I'll take out the potentiometer, and in the same A0, the input of Arduino, I'm going to connect the middle point between these two components. So I'll bend the terminals of the resistor, or will place one of them in the ground and the other one connected to A0. Now the light dependent resistor will be connected to VCC 3.3 volts and that A0 and resistor. So if I use the multimeter, I cannot use it in ohms. I will need to switch it to volts. In the settings of direct current, VDC, I will see that the value actually changes from almost 3 to 0.9, almost 1. And the way that these three things are connected: Arduino, the resistor that has a symbol of a zigzag, and the light dependent resistor that has a very similar symbol. It is zigzag, but I also encapsulate in a circle, and I'll denote it with LDR. Some authors prefer to also include an arrow coming in to show the light that will modify the value of resistance. The three components are connected together in my breadboard, and now on the symbols I have ground to the resistor, I have A0 to the middle point of LDR and R, and also the 3.3 volts as my positive terminal. And if I recall the experiments I've been doing with the potentiometer, I'll realize that I am reading something from the sensor and deciding what to do depending on the value. I have a conditional there. So maybe I modify a little bit the comments, and let's see, first of all, this true, false, and the sensor value, what kind of results does it give us? So I upload the code. I remember to select in the tools port the correct one, and I have there the Arduino, and when I start seeing values, I will cover the sensor to see it goes from 1 to 0. So that means that some values that represent when it's dark, and some values that represents when it's very bright. So the message I'm displaying right now, perhaps it will make more sense that changes a little bit. And instead of using that Boolean state variable, I will directly use the conditional to show two different messages. One if it's bright, and the other one if it's dark. So these two strings will be transmitted from Arduino to the computer, and it will depend what do I sense to output them. So every time I type, I also get the habit of pressing Command T to indent. That can be done from an edit menu. I think that that's highly recommended, so the code is easy to read. So let's see now that it's uploaded how it's working, and when I cover it, it complains it's so dark, and then when I uncover it, it's saying it's bright.